So after 17 unbelievable days of competition, the Milan Cortina Games have finally wrapped up. And for the grand finale, the whole world turned its eyes from the snowy mountains to, of all places, the heart of ancient history, the incredible Verona Arena. What we saw was a farewell that was truly one for the books. So let's dive in and see what made it just so special. Okay, I want you to just picture this for a second. You've got this huge modern Olympic celebration happening inside a 2,000-year-old Roman amphitheater. I mean, wow. This was so much more than just a typical closing ceremony. It was this stunning mix of ancient, epic grandeur and a totally modern show, you know? A perfect Italian way to say, arrivederci. All right, first up, Italy's artistic grandeur. This was all about paying tribute to the nation's soul. Honestly, it was just pure magic. The whole thing started with these famous opera characters who were, get this, literally unpacked from these giant mirrored crates right there on the stage. I mean, can you even picture that? Madame Butterfly and Aida just appearing? It was this beautiful, whimsical nod to the Verona Arena's own history as this legendary opera house. So clever. And then came this moment. Just wow. The world-famous ballet dancer Roberto Bolle did his first ever aerial routine inside a blazing ring of fire that was supposed to be the sun. It was insane. Then he's lowered down onto a stage that's been made to look just like the Venetian lagoons, and there are actual gondolas. The whole thing was just absolutely breathtaking. And this is what I think is so cool. It was this incredible mashup of old and new, right? You've got this beautiful classical ballet, these amazing acrobatics, and it's all happening to this really haunting modern song by the Italian singer Joan Thiel. It was like Italy in a nutshell, you know? Ancient and modern, all at the same time. So after all that art, it was time to celebrate the athletes. And boy, did the host nation have something to celebrate. And boom, the whole vibe just completely changed. The formal stuff was over and it turned into this massive party. DJ Gabri Ponte came out, and within minutes you had 1,500 athletes flooding the stage, just dancing like crazy, while confetti exploded everywhere. It was just this awesome moment of pure joy. But you gotta understand, this wasn't just any party. This was a victory lap. The host nation Italy just crushed their old record, taking home an amazing 30 medals. 30! You could just feel the pride radiating from everyone in that arena. And this quote from the president of the Milan Cortina Foundation, Giovanni Malago, really says it all. He talked about how their performance united Italians everywhere, and you could literally see it. The athletes were all wearing these headbands that just proudly said, Italia. It was a really powerful image. Okay, so after that huge party, the mood shifted. It was time for a moment of tradition, a bit of solemnity. It was time to pass the torch. So the Olympic flame, which was held in this absolutely gorgeous Venetian glass vessel, was carried into the arena. And the people carrying it? Italian gold medalists from way back in the 1994 Games. I mean, talk about symbolic. It was a literal passing of the torch from one generation of champions to the next. Just beautiful. And then you have the official flag handover, which is always this really precise, symbolic moment. The Italian Army Guard of Honor lowers the Olympic flag, they present it to the IOC president, Kirsty Coventry, and then she hands it over to the officials from France, who, of course, are hosting the next Winter Games in 2030. So, when all is said and done, what's the lasting legacy here? Well, beyond all the medals and incredible memories, Milan Cortina 2026 really created something new, something that could be a total game changer. They called it the Spread Out Games, and it's basically a whole new way of thinking about how to host the Olympics. The idea is, instead of building a ton of new stuff all in one city, you use stadiums and arenas that already exist spread out over a massive area. It's way more sustainable, it's cheaper, and it gets to show off a whole region, not just one city. And it seems to be catching on, because France is going to do the same thing for 2030. And when I say spread out, I mean really spread out. We're talking 22,000 square kilometers. Think about that. You had ice sports happening in Milan, then way over in Cortina, you had curling and skiing, snowboarding was in Valtellina, cross-country in Val di Fiemme, and biathlon way up in Anterselva, basically on the Austrian border. They really did turn all of northern Italy into one gigantic Olympic arena. And hey, this new model didn't go unnoticed.
The IOC president herself came out and said it. She said they delivered a new kind of Winter Games and set a new, very high standard for the future. So yeah, I think you can call that experiment a massive success.
And then it was time for the final moment. It was pretty poignant, actually. Everyone in Verona watched on video screens as the two Olympic flames, one in Milan and one in Cortina, which was a first, were put out at the exact same time. And just like that, the games were officially over. Which brings us right back to that quote from the IOC president, right? A new, very high standard for the future. So that's the big question we're left with. Has this totally new, spread out model really set a new standard? Is this the new blueprint for the Winter Olympics from now on? The flame in Italy is out, but that Olympic spirit, well, it just keeps on moving. The focus now leaves the Dolomites and heads over to the French Alps. They're already getting ready to welcome the world in 2030. The wait begins.